Good morning, everybody. Welcome to our page. My name is Ryan. My beautiful wife, Lindsay, and I, we go by Rinzy. We are full-time shoe resellers. That means we buy and sell shoes to pay all of our bills and then some. We've been full-time for about 3 years. Again, welcome to our page. Today, we are going to do some sourcing at local thrifts. We're going to source shoes to sell on Poshmark and Mercari. We're going to keep it as short and sweet as possible. We're going to show you exactly the brands that we pick up, the price that we pay, in hopes that when you go out and do some sourcing yourself, this will help you leapfrog some of the mistakes that we have made and get closer to consistent wins. Let's dive in. All right, before we dive into our first stop, a few points of value that will help you when you are going out and sourcing pairs to buy and then sell on Poshmark and Mercari. Be strategic with your sourcing. What we mean by that is right now it is 8:52 a.m. on a Sunday. Our very first stop opens at 9 a.m. So we're getting there a little bit before they open so we can walk in the door as they're opening. Obviously, if you're the first person to see the shoes, you have a better chance of finding more profitable inventory. Also, we're super strategic with when we go sourcing. Today is Sunday. It is the first day of the discounts that are being held at our local Goodwill locations. It may vary in your area, but usually you can go online and look up when they have discount days. For example, today there is two things happening. There is one color that will be $1, and there's another color that is half off. If you are just random when you're going to the thrifts, you have less of an opportunity to find profitable inventory. If you're super strategic and you go on the discount days and you get there first, obviously you have a better chance of finding more inventory. The last thing we're going to talk about before we dive into this first stop is planning out the sourcing trip. Again, this location, which is our first stop on, I think we have 5 or 6 locations we're going to hit today, opens at 9 a.m. We verified by going onto the website and seeing, yes, they open at 9 a.m. on Sunday, so we're here a little bit early. We're gonna be in and out, we're gonna be super efficient, but we're not gonna skip over inventory. And then the next stop is only a couple miles away, and then the next stop after that is only 10-15 minutes away from that. And we've built a sourcing route that loops around. It's been our opinion and our experience that if you start the furthest away from your house and you kind of work your way back, or even do a circular pattern back, it's always better because you're getting more tired throughout the day. You're using a lot of brain power looking up comps, looking through all the inventory, being super thorough when you're checking quality, which we're gonna go over all of that in store. But you're using all that brain power and you're getting tired, so it makes the most sense at the end of the day that you're closest to home. Those are a few things that have helped us as we've continued to source every single week for the last 3 years. Enough's enough. Let's get in and find some shoes. All right, as we head into stop number 1, we are confirming that yellow pairs are $1 today and gray pairs are 50% off. Yellow and gray is gold. Today we are looking for yellow and gray. We're going to look at every single pair in every aisle, but we're keeping an eye out for yellow and gray tags. Here's something that may help you move a little quicker, especially when there's a lot of people in the area. We look for shoes that catch our attention when you're looking at the whole aisle, the bright colors. Now, there's no one in the aisle with us, but if the place is crowded, this will help you get more premium shoes quicker. Again, you always want to look through every single pair, but this pair stood out to us. If it stands out in the aisle, it'll probably stand out when you list it online. Here's a pair of Nike, no rips or tears. We're going to put those in the cart. Here's a pair of bright colored or bright accented Asics. Great price at $6. Tread looks good. No rips or tears, but the heel looks pretty crushed. We always look for better condition when it comes to the heel, so we're going to pass on those. And then again, it doesn't make sense to skip over pairs. Make sure you're looking at every pair, but if you want to move swiftly when there's a lot of people in store, grab the brightest colors first. Here's a pair of Sperry's. Bright color, good price. We're going to throw those in the cart. Looking through every single pair. Here's a pair of hiking boots. These are Merrell. Gore-Tex is gold when it comes to footwear. These are Merrell Zephyr Gore-Tex. We're going to look at the tread. Plenty of tread left. There's not a lot of cleaning to do on these. A little bit higher price point at $20, but Gore-Tex is worth it. And the average buy cost of everything put put together is going to bring that under $20. We continue to look around, again, being super thorough. Here's a pair of what we thought were Puma suedes, but those are Athleticas. We pass on that brand. Here's potentially a pair of Birkenstocks. Nope, pass on those. Here's a pair of Caterpillar leather cat boots. We don't pick up that brand. A lot of people pick up Spikes. We don't personally pick up Spikes. You might want to try those out. We've seen a lot of people with success for those. So the twist test reveals all. Now this one's blatantly obvious. This is what dry rot does to shoes, and when you twist the shoe, it'll be easy to tell, because obviously that will happen. Make sure you're doing the twist test on every single pair. Now that we've filled our carts with potential pairs that pass the initial test of condition and price, we're going to go through and triple check everything. What we're showing you here is we get near a window because there's lots of really good light coming in. And see, let's grab a pair. You can see the natural light. You can see what the color is going to look like. We use daylight bulbs. This is actual daylight coming in. So this is what the shoe is going to look like when we photograph it. Plus, the more lit that you have the shoes, the better you can tell the condition. You can see if there's any tiny rips or tears. We're going to rapid fire through some pairs we're passing on and show you why. Here's a pair of New Balance, what we thought were in great condition, but when you triple check, there's a tear in the heel right there. That's an instant pass for us. Pass with any tears. Here's a pair of Cole Haan, what we thought were Cole Haan men's dress shoes, but as soon as we picked them up and we held them, we realized the quality wasn't there. These are $20. Gray is half off, $10. But then we realized this is just a Cole Haan insert on what is actually a Nunbush brand shoe. So we're going to pass on thir Nunbush is not a pair that brand that we pick up. Here's a pair of Skechers. These are men's 51241s. We sold a couple pairs of these, and we usually pick these up. Great tread, good price point, not a lot of cleaning, but on the inside on the left shoe there was a tear in the mesh. Kind of hard to see here, but there's a tear right here. We always pass. This is why we triple check pass when there's any tears. And then this pair of New Balance that we had showed earlier, great price point, great colorway, but the heel is destroyed. It is all caved in, and that is not something that is going to be fixable, so we're going to pass on those. Hard pass. Condition is important. We're going to show you at the end all the pairs that we picked up, but we want to try to show you some of our receipts as we go through so you can see the price points that we pay. We always keep our average buy cost under $10. For this stop, it says we had 11 purchases, but it's only 10 because when you round up at Goodwill, they added it. So this is 10 pairs for $80 within our budget. All right, so first stop complete. It is 9:43, so we're in and out in 43 minutes. And to be honest, we're usually a lot quicker, but we're shooting video, creating this content, and they were having some struggles with their computer system. So the point of value here too is you're definitely gonna run into situations where either there's a long line because it's super crowded, or today there was some issues with the computer. The computers were working, but they were lagging, so they would scan a shoe and it would take 20 or 30 seconds to show up, and then you'd have to scan the next shoe. And then of course people in line were getting frustrated. I was gonna videotape them, but then I decided not to because we want to keep everything super positive. So again, the point of value here is planned flexibility. So you're gonna run into things like traffic, you're gonna run into things like computer systems not working. We've been in thrifts where all of a sudden you can't use your credit card and you gotta run down the street to grab some cash. Planned flexibility, always be flexible, stay positive. It goes a long way in building relationships with employees and building relationships with people that you bump into in the thrift. Phenomenal first stop. As you guys saw, $81 for 11 pairs. The next stop is only a couple miles away. Let's go. Again, just quick clarification. We only got 10 pairs at that last stop, not 11. Here we are at stop number 2, getting a little bit busier. We're going to rip through some ones we passed on to show you why. The dinge factor on these, even though they're Nikes, we've sold this brand, the dinge on that's not worth the clean. We're going to pass. Brooks, these are great brand, but they're ripped. We always pass with rips or tears, put those back on the shelf. Here's another pair of Brooks. Initial look through, the toe box is looking a little dingy, and then the inside of this one is ripped. easy pass, put that back on the shelf. Here's a pair of Danskos, another great brand, but as you can see, the heels are ripped. That's a hard pass on these, even though they are the golden yellow, which is $1. We're going to pass on those, pass with any rips or tears. Here is a pair of Asics. Let's put it up. Just looking at the condition on the toe box, and then we look at the heel, and again, they're ripped in the black right there. Boom, easy pass, get rid of those. Then here is a pair of Keen, but as you can see, the heels are ripped. Hard pass on those. And as we put those on the shelf, wait, are those Rothy's right there? Nope, those aren't Rothy's. Just kidding. And here's a pair of Gore-Tex North Face. Man, this was a hard no because the heel is absolutely destroyed, but we wish we could keep those. Here's a pair of $20 Sorel Bighorns. At initial look, it's something to think about, but then when you look on the inside, no insoles, absolutely destroyed. Hard pass on because of price point and condition. So just like the last store, we grab another cart and we start putting, triple checking absolutely everything. We're going to show you the pairs that we kept at the very end of this video. But again, we wanted to show you, we always try to set up within eye shot of the cashiers so it doesn't look like we're doing anything sketchy. They can see us clearly. We're just going through the inventory, triple checking everything, and trying to be as transparent as possible. So here's all the pairs we said yes to from that initial pile. And then in the other cart is all the pairs we said no to. We're going to go put those back on the shelf, put them nice and neat on the shelf. These had rips or tears or busted heels, so we passed. Another really good stop. We picked up some Patagonia, picked up some LL Bean. We're going to show you all that at the end, but just again want to show you the receipt. We always try to spend over $100 because you get an additional 25% off. We got 14 pairs at this stop. We ended up saving $54, 14 pairs for $104. All right, we're 2 stops in. We're getting ready to go to the 3rd stop. Hope you guys, if you guys have any questions, always jump into the comments below. Again, we're going to show you everything that we kept at the very end. But I wanted to put in a quick correction. We only got 10 pairs at the first stop, not 11. So we have a total of 24 pairs for $185 all in. That's about $7.70 per pair so far on this little mini daily trip. I forgot that they include item number when you do the donation. So when you like round up, they include it as another line item. So it showed up as 11 total items when really we only had 10. Just like on this last one, it said 15 when we only had 14. So 10 and 14, that's 24 pairs at the first 2 stops. On to stop number 3. So the same thing is consistent at every single stop. To make sure this video isn't an hour long, we are going to skip some of the stops. We wanted to point one thing out at this stop. We hit what's called a restock. So we went through the whole store and we had about 5 or 6 pairs in hand, and then they came out with more bins of shoes. They were restocking the shelves. If you run into this situation, it's really, really good. We ended up filling our entire cart when we only had 5 or 6. We love it when they restock. All right, so here is our receipt from this stop, just showing you guys the price points that we hit. We got an additional 25% off of everything because we spent over $100, and we ended up getting 25 pairs at this stop for $202. Excellent buy cost. All right, so that was awesome. That was a really good score. They were restocking, caught them right at the restock, and we got 25 pairs for a total of $202. So one thing of value here, because they know what we do, because we're always nice to them, because we never ask for any additional discounts, because we buy a lot of shoes, they said that they're going to be bringing out 2 more bins. They think 2 more bins, at least 1 more bin in about half an hour. I think some people are on break. So, as we always say, pour gas on what is working. Instead of going all the way to the next stop and instead of just sitting and waiting, there is a tiny little thrift that we usually don't go to across the street. So we're gonna pop in over there, see if there's any gems. It's not high volume, which is why we usually don't go to it. But because of the time sensitivity, instead of going to the next stop, we're gonna pop over there, see if there's any gems, then come back over here within that half an hour time frame. Then hopefully we'll hit another restock and get another cart full of shoes. That's what we're gonna do. Be flexible and always strategic. So there was nothing at that other store, but we came back for the restock and picked up a couple more pairs. We got some Gore-Tex Cabela's, we got some Jordans, we got a pair of leather Echo heeled women's boots, picked up some LL Bean leather slip-ons and some Skechers. Not bad for a quick little restock. On to the next. Again, here is the most recent purchase. A little bit higher price points, 5 pairs for $62, but the overall buy cost is still under $10 across the board. On to the next. All right, so that was good. We ended up at this one stop getting 30 pairs between the 2 times that we were there and the restock. The last 5 pairs obviously were a little bit more expensive, but because we've been keeping track of our total across the board, we know we're still under our average buy cost of $10. The more you keep track of your numbers, the more options that you can take. You just got to make sure you're respecting both sides. You don't want to get a bunch of high pairs that will bring the lowest pairs up higher than you want. Hopefully that makes sense. And vice versa. You want to make sure the pairs that are super low and inexpensive, $1, still meet the high standards that you're setting for yourself when you are sourcing. So right now, after 3 locations, but technically going in twice on this one, so 3 locations, we are at 54 pairs. We've spent $449 all in. That includes taxes. That includes us rounding up and donating. $449, 54 pairs. That's $8.31 a pair. Hope this helps show you how, when buying in bulk, you can, for example, those Gore-Tex Cabela steel toe leather boots were $25, but according to our charts right now, they're $8.31. The adventure continues. Let's head to stop number 4. All right, went in and got 1 pair of Skechers Shape Ups for $6. Forgot where I parked, there we go. Point of value here, not every spot is gonna be super fruitful, be super thorough. Make sure you look at every single pair. I went up and down all the aisles, but also don't force it. In the beginning, when we first started sourcing, we would force it. You kind of get, you look at shoes differently when you can't find good shoes, and it's important to continue to be super strict. This is where building sourcing routes where you can get as many stops in as possible is crucial. If you're only going to one, if this was the only thrift that we went to today, we'd be super discouraged. We only got 1 pair. We'd be wondering what's going on. But because it's our 4th stop of what is gonna be probably 5, 6, or 7 stops, we can continue to be strict in our sourcing and our price points, and we can bring in more inventory. It's super, super important to have high standards, even when you're sourcing used shoes, even when you're gonna be cleaning and putting sweat equity into them, because it will save you time, it will save you labor, it will bring in more profits, higher sell-through rates, super, super important. So only 1 pair at this stop, on to the next. All right, so we popped in and out of the next stop. Just want to show you our receipt and our pickups. We ended up getting 6 pairs for $79. Again, a little bit higher price point, but they were worth it. We'll show you some of these finds at the end. All right, so stop number 5. As you saw, it was a little bit more expensive. Got 6 pairs for $79. But you'll see at the end of the video, we picked up some good stuff. Got some Timberland high boots, got some men's Merrell that are really nice, and a couple other regular stuff. It was a little bit higher price point, so here is the point of value in our trip. If that was the only thrift that we were going to, the only stop for the day, the price of those probably wouldn't make sense, but when you add it into everything that we've purchased today, that we've got 61 pairs, we've spent $534. We have an average buy cost of $8.75. I want to keep showing you how buying in bulk has been working for us, so that when we do come across stuff that's in great condition but has a higher price point, we can still get it. You just got to make sure that you're on point with your numbers, and that the pairs that are bringing the buy cost down are actually worth it. They still have to have good comps on the marketplace. You don't want to just pick up a dollar pair that's tore up, that doesn't have its original insoles, that has rips or tears, has a funky smell, whatever. If it's only just because it's only $1, it still has to be high quality and have good comps on the marketplaces you're using. It is about 2:30, and honestly, I think I'm gonna call it quits on today. 5 stops. We're gonna have probably a couple more stops tomorrow because it's a 2-day sale in our area. Plus, the Salvation Armies are open tomorrow. So we're gonna add more to this video tomorrow. But right now, it's about 2:23 p.m. and I'm a little tuckered out. So I'm gonna head home, see my wife, and enjoy the rest of the day. All right, we are back at it the next morning. We're at some Salvation Army locations today, and some Goodwills a little bit later on, but $2.99 for shoes. Cannot beat that unless otherwise marked. This is a recent change at our local Salvation Armies, which is golden for the shoe market. But here's what we wanted to point out: a restock. They brought out some more shoes. What was going to be 5 or 6 pairs, now we're starting to fill the cart. And as you see by this receipt, we absolutely went ham on the restock. They ended up bringing out 5 or 6 more carts after those 2. We got 25 pairs for $114. All right, something amazing just happened. We went in when the thrift opened. We went through all the shoes, and we had about 6 or 7 pairs in our cart. We went to the register, we were about to pay, and they said, hey, we know you guys buy a ton of shoes, you're in here all the time. We're about to bring out a bunch more. Do you want to wait about 10 minutes? We said, absolutely. We wait. What was going to be 6 or 7 pairs turned into 25 pairs with an average buy cost of $4.60 per pair. Tell people what you do. It goes a long, long way. And because we respect your time, we're going to skip ahead. We had a couple more stops today. Here's a Salvation Army where we got 4 pairs for $12.62. And then here is a receipt from a Goodwill location a little bit later on in the day where we spent $63 and ended up getting 9 pairs. Just want to show you what our receipts look like throughout the day. Okay, we are finally home. We are going to bring everything inside, show you some of the stuff that we picked up over the last couple days so that you can see exactly the brands that we are picking up to sell on Poshmark and Mercari. Let's head upstairs and take a look. All right, so this ended up being a really good week. Again, to save you guys time, we didn't show you every single stop, but every single stop we did what we showed you in the stops that we showed you. We just repeat the process over and over again. We ended up sourcing 179 pairs. We spent $1,395. That includes all tax. We have an average buy cost of $7.79 for 179 pairs. Now, we of course got duplicates of some of these brands, but we're going to try to show you as many brands as we picked up. Gore-Tex is gold. We picked up some Echo men's Gore-Tex leather shoes. These are in phenomenal shape, basically unworn. We picked those up. You guys saw these Sperry's in Goodwill in the pastel colorway. Sperry is a phenomenal brand. We sell a ton of Sperry's. Chacos. Chaco is a really good brand. Men's, women's, and youth. This is a youth pair of Chacos. This is a youth size 4. You can usually look on the back heel if you can't find the size, and it says it right on there. Here's a new brand to us. We did a bunch of research in store. These are Ramontes. A new brand to us, but you can tell they're well made when you have them in hand, and there was very, very little cleaning. Comps are good. Ramonte is now a brand that we've added to our sourcing list. LL Bean is one of our top 2 brands. You always want to look for this little tab on the hiking boots. It says Waterproof Tech 2.5. That obviously increases the value when they are waterproof. And LL Bean with very minimal cleaning. We sell a ton of these. Behind Nike, it's our most selling brand. Here is a pair of New Balance. We wanted to point these out because these are women's 6.5 wide. It's a very interesting size, but with a bigger buying budget, we can go on these intricate sizes. Usually the outlets will donate if they can't sell pairs. They'll donate to the thrift, and then we'll buy them from the thrift. Here's a pair of women's Timberland heeled leather, super soft leather shoes. Very, very minimal cleaning. When it comes to leather and suede, we source pairs that do not need a lot of cleaning. We're trying to learn how to clean them better, but we always just stick to the pairs that need very minimal cleaning. Keep an eye out for all Timberlands, men's and women's. Here is a pair we talked about earlier. These are the Cabela's Gore-Tex men's steel toe boots. They also have the Vibram soles. Cabela's is a great brand, but then when you add Vibram sole and steel toe and the Gore-Tex, it just increases the value tremendously. Keep an eye out for all of those things, Gore-Tex, Vibram, or steel toe, no matter what the brand. Up next, we have a pair of men's Jordans. These are in really good condition. They got that wolf gray colorway. Paid a little bit up on these, $25, but when you add it into the average buy cost, came down to $7.79. Obviously, keep an eye out for Jordans and Nike. Nike is our most selling brand, probably because we find the most. These are some Nike Roche men's. Again, very minimal cleaning. Excited to find those. Here is a pair of men's Dingo boots. Again, really well made. Super soft leather. Very minimal cleaning. Keep an eye out for Dingo. Again, these are a good size as well. Men's 10.5. The Dingo brand boots sell well for us. And as you can see, very minimal cleaning. Up next, we have a pair of Dunham shoes. Now, the reason we picked these up is because they're water resistant and they're slip resistant and they're in phenomenal condition. Now, if these Dunham did not have the water resistance or the slip resistance, we'd probably pass on them. But because they have those added little amenities, we picked them up. Cole Haan is a brand that you should be picking up as long as it's in good condition. Nike owned Cole Haan for a little bit and then ended up selling. So if you can find Cole Haan with the Nike Air technology, that's a bonus. This doesn't have that Nike Air technology, but Cole Haan Grand OS, keep an eye out. Here's a pair of Nursemaid's Pillow Top. It is similar to kind of like a Dansko or a Sanita brand. But we have been picking up Nursemaid's and selling through them very quickly. Keep an eye out for that brand. Obviously, if you follow us, we talk about Brooks. Here's a pair of Brooks. Very minimal cleaning. Keep an eye out for, these are the Ghost 9s. Ghost 10s are better, but always make sure you're looking around the ankle. No rips or tears, original insoles. Keep an eye out for Brooks. Pretty much any styles. Here is a pair we picked up on the restock. These are a pair of Jordan Jumpmans. Again, really, really good condition. Jump on YouTube and do your research to recognize real versus fake Jordans. The more research you do, the better you'll be able to tell real versus fake in the thrifts. Up next, we have a pair of men's Pumas. We do really well with both men's and women's Pumas. This is a cool gray colorway. The condition is obviously really, really good. Buy cost $7.79 when our sourcing trip was done. Original insoles, no rips or tears. Keep an eye out for Pumas. Here is what we talk about when we buy smaller infant or little kid shoes, having an adult version of it. These are Huaraches, and there's obviously an adult version in the men's and women's. We stick to infant and little kids pairs that have an adult version, like those Huaraches. Here's a pair of Saucony we do really well. These are the Everruns. Not sure if I'm even pronouncing it right. Saucony. Keep an eye out. We sell a ton of them. A ton of their running shoes in men's and women's. Keen is another brand we pick up. Men's, women's, kids, hiking boots, shoes. These are obviously in really good condition. Original insoles. They're just well made. It's a great brand that lasts a long time. Keen. Keep an eye out for Keen. Here's an interesting pair of Converse. We do sell a bunch of Converse. You can watch some of our previous videos about the pinch test to look for rips and tears. But this pair is actually water repellent. I'm trying to find the tag where it says it. I know it's on here. I think it's on the inside of the other shoe, but you always want to make sure there's no rips or tears. Here we go. Man, I'm struggling to get this focused, and it says water repellent on that inside tag. Again, that's just an added bonus. The Converse is a phenomenal brand. Converse is owned by Nike, and whenever we find Converse in good condition under $10, we pick them up. Here is a pair of super soft leather Tevas. Here's another brand that does really well for us. We only they have Teva sandals. I'm trying to get this focused here. We do well with sandals, but we find mostly women's Teva footwear when it comes to these types of shoes. Just make sure, as always, you're going to hear it from us a million more times because you've already heard it a million times. Make sure the condition is good. Hoka One. Shout out to Drew Thrifts and Flips. We used to call these Hoka 1-1s, but it's actually pronounced Hoka One. Make sure the tread is good. These are gold when you can find with original insoles, no rips or tears. Those will sell, within the next 72 hours. And the last pair we want to show you is a pair of oboes. We sell dozens of these hiking boots, men's and women's. Keep an eye out for oboes. Just make sure, as always, it is in good condition. Plenty of tread left. All right, that's what we got for you guys today. Thank you so much for tuning in. We really appreciate it. We hope this helps when you go out and do some sourcing yourself. These videos are a little bit longer, these deep dives into how we source shoes to sell on Poshmark and Mercari, but we want to show you the cadence. We want to show you how buying in bulk can open up opportunities. But as always, there is so many different ways to win when it comes to reselling shoes. There's so many different places to source. There's so many different places to sell. Multiple marketplaces everywhere, and you can win on all of them. So at the end of the day, do what works best for you. And as we always say, pour gas on what is working and stop being romantic to what is not. Again, if you guys have any questions, jump into the comments below. But until the next video, we hope you enjoy each and every single step.